Thanks for joining me today for my Eat Clinic, brought to you by Glazier. The topic for this Eat Clinic will be drilling it the cowboy way. Let's get at it. First thing I want to do is I want to talk a little bit about our staff here at Oklahoma State, led by head coach Mike Gundy. One of the things that we try to make sure that we do here is we do a good job of graduating our players, caring about them, making sure that they have a positive experience while here in Stillwater. We're committed to, our whole staff, committed to representing Oklahoma State University the right way, determined to win football games by recruiting athletes across the country that fit Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State off the field and on the field. We want you, our defensive staff, Glenn Spencer, Tim Duffy, Joe Bob Clemens, Eric Henderson, Nathan Peterson, and Bobby Reed. We want you to come to Stillwater, sit down with us, and have an experience. Our doors are always open. One of the things that we talk to our guys about is about being accountable to each other. We talk to them about the fact that I have a purpose. I have a purpose on our defense, and it's to be selfless, right? It's more about the team, it's more about the group than it is about me. We're going to do a great job as a defense of preaching to our guys about always giving, always making sure that we use the Marine mantra, is that it's about the guy next to me much more than it's about me. We talk about being tough. Football is a physical, violent, will-imposing sport, and we want our guys to understand that as you go out there on the football field, it's your job, it's your role to get each one of those opponents to yield to our will at Oklahoma State. Our guys are going to play hard. When you watch video, we hope that you as coaches see that our guys are playing hard. They're playing with great effort. We talk to them about having fanatical, maniacal, downright crazy effort. And we're always talking about the fact that we need to have video evidence of this effort, and that opponents and people that watch you, there's no greater compliment than them talking about the fact that you play hard. Now, there's some elements that we look at, especially in the secondary, that are key to our success. One of the things that we think is very important is that we want our defensive backs to make sure that they're always paying attention to detail. We want them to know their alignment, their assignment, the responsibility of the scheme, and where they fit. Every play, we feel like that's important for them to do. We want to talk to our guys about being prepared, being students of the game, making sure that you spend as much time as you can knowing your opponent, knowing how your opponent is going to attack you, knowing offenses and what those guys on offense are trying to do in a particular formation. We really put pressure on our guys about being students of the game. We talk to them about being sound fundamentally and technically, especially in the secondary, at the cornerback position. We talk about proper footwork. We talk about proper hand placement, so that those guys understand that every play is vital for you to be in the right place technically for us to be successful. And then we go back to it again. We talk about great effort. We talk about working at maximum pace on and off the game field. Every day at practice, every rep, every drill, we're talking about going 100 miles an hour, giving 100% effort, because you never know when you get into a game, you never know which play is the one that calls you to win or calls you to lose that particular game. Still, always looking for video evidence of that kind of effort. Let's talk about our defensive numbers, because we talk defensive numbers in our rooms. Let's talk about defensive numbers between 2012 and 2013. In 2012, we were number 80 in the country for total defense and total defense. In 2012, we had 22 total turnovers. 2012, we had 0 defensive touchdowns. We were number 44 in the country in pass efficiency defense. Third down defense, we were number 78 in 2012. In 2012, in scoring defense in the United States, we were number 64 in Division I football, I should say. So then we go to 2013. 2013, we went from 80 to 52 in the nation. We had 33 total turnovers in 2013. Defensive touchdowns, we had 3. Pass efficiency defense, we moved from 44th in 2012 to number 6 in 2013. Third down defense, getting that opponent off the field on third down, we went from 78th to 7th in 2013. And then in scoring defense, we went from 64th in the country to 19th in the country. 2012, we won 8 games. We played in the Heart of Dallas Bowl. Great experience for our players. 2013, we won 10 games and had the opportunity to play in the Cotton Bowl. Another great experience for our players. So when we talk about drills at Oklahoma State, we start out by giving our guys a manual, especially in the secondary. And in that manual, there's each drill explained clear and concisely so that they understand what they are reaching for, what they're striving for as they operate within those drills. Then as a staff, we try to identify each particular position, which one of these guys, for example, the safety. If I'm a safety, I'm going to have to be able to tackle in the open field. If I'm a safety, I'm going to have to be able to play off man. I'm going to have to, if I'm a safety, be able to contain blitz, right? I'm going to have to be a half field player. There'll be a point in the game or a few points in the game where I'm going to have to be a deep half defender, where I'm going to have to be an outside third defender, where I'm going to have to be a middle third defender. So we focus our drills once we determine each particular position, what are the skill sets that guy's going to have, that position is going to have to use, and then we focus our drills right there, at least 85% of the time throughout the week. So here's some essential drills. We're going to work pursuit drills, right? We're going to work pursuit run. We're going to work pursuit pass. We're going to talk to these guys within that pursuit drill about effort, always talking about effort. We're going to talk about angles to the football. But then we're going to talk about, hey, when we get that football, we're going to score with that ball, right? Then we're going to work combo coverage drills. We're going to work as a defensive back unit. We're going to work to maintain vertical and horizontal leverage on those receivers. As we play more and more man, people are going to stack, they're going to rub. So we're going to give our defensive backs plans for when we get those different alignments by the receivers. And then we're going to work block ward and block protection drills. We're going to work to defeat them on the perimeter, right? We're going to work good on good. We'll work versus our offense, but then there are times where we'll be the scout team and we'll work within ourselves. Then we're going to work one-on-one coverage versus the wide receivers, versus the offense, good on good. Then we'll work off man from inside leverage, from outside leverage. We'll work press man from the same thing, inside, outside emphasis. We'll work release drills versus the receiver. We'll work red zone, go one-on-one. And we have these drills drawn up, and we'll show you today some of the examples and how we set them up. Then we'll work daily footwork with drills. We'll work transitions. We'll work inside, outside leverage drills. We'll work horizontal and vertical leverage drills all throughout our practices. But like I said, mostly these footwork drills are part of the daily drill process. Just an example of the manual that we give our players. We're going to show them in a drawn up, concise, clear way each one of the drills that we'll use, and we'll talk to them about what they should be thinking. We'll give them coaching points as we go through the drills. So the first drill that I have as an example is the tackling drill, the 3-step progression drill. So if you look at the images, the pictures, you'll see that each one of those defenders is lower than that offensive guy, right? So that's something that we'll emphasize to our guys, is that as we go through the 3-step fit progression, fit tackle drill, whistle number 1, that defender's gonna lock up, he's gonna come and attack that runner low, right? Then he's gonna come and he's gonna fit and club. Each whistle is gonna take him through a progression, right? So then we go to the next drill. It's really the same drill, but we're going to pull that offensive guy away, and we're going to talk to that defensive guy in this particular drill about matching the steps, from separated, matching the steps to get the same foot, same shoulder, matching the steps of that offensive player. So each one of our drills, we'll try to draw up and give to our guys and explain that drill, tell them exactly what they're looking for as they run through that drill, and then we'll give them a coaching point as we go through the drill. Here, we're talking about hitting on the rise, going from low to high. So then when we go on, since we're talking about tackling, we talk to our guys within our drills. We talk to our guys about the angle tackle, right? We talk to them about the different types of tackle, but here's the angle tackle. When we talk about angle tackling to our guys, what you'll see on the video, we talk about bringing your core speed under control. You got to control your body if you're going to perform an angle tackle. Then you got to position yourself so that that runner can't cut back, so that that guy can't cut back across your body. So you're going to really attack his inside hip, his trail hip, so that his guy does not come back across your face. Then what you're going to do is you're going to make sure you're going to approach the ball carrier, and then now you're going to get your head in front on the tackle, the head across his body. If you try to go and don't get your head across his body, your head is behind him, you're simply making an arm tackle, right? A lot of good backs play in the Big 12. A lot of good backs play in the NCAA. Very difficult to be able to tackle these guys with an arm. So once you make contact, you're going to do a great job of trying to jar that ball out, right? You're going to make sure you're knocking that runner back, knocking him east to west. You don't want him going north-south. You want him going east-west. You want him to get off his line, right? So you're going to reach your outside arm across his body and inside arm across his back, right? To wrap, run your feet, grab cloth, run your feet, all the way until you hear that whistle. Now there's another tackle that's a little bit more difficult than that angle tackle where you're using that sideline. Here in this sure tackle, you got to get him down. You don't have the benefit of having the sideline, so now you got to bring your feet under control, right? And you got to cheat, right? You got to choose either an inside or an outside leverage point. You got to keep your feet moving. Don't plant your feet. Don't cement your feet, right? You got to keep the weight on your balls of your feet, which is going to allow you to be able to move laterally, right, inside or outside, once that ball carrier declares where he's going. Now you're going to keep your eyes on his numbers. Some people say keep your eyes on his inside hip. We like to say keep his eyes on his numbers and his midsection. Don't go for any fakes. Keep your eyes low. Then once you close that separation, you want to fire your hips and wrap. You want to wrap, fire your hips, keep your hips low, keep your head high. You don't want to leave your feet. Right? You don't want to leave your feet on the sure tackle. You got to make sure you get this guy down. You leave your feet, you have no power, and you has a great chance that you're going to unfortunately miss this tackle. So there's some elements, really, when we talk about just a general tackle. I got to make sure, just like you saw in the image, that I got my head below his head. My pads are under his pads. Right? I'm going to shrug my shoulders. I'm going to make sure I have a good power base. I'm going to make sure that I'm square. I keep my body square. Then I keep my eyes up. Don't tackle with your head down. You want to see what you hit. Then I'm going to club up, right? I'm going to club up and I'm going to lift the runner off his feet, right? Club up, wrap up, lift the runner off his feet. We always talk about hitting up and through, hitting on the rise, uncoiling your body, and once you're there to make that tackle, you're going to uncoil on that runner. Then I'm going to try to, as I uncoil, I'm going to roll my hips. knock that ball out, strip at that ball, pull that thing out. We talk to all our defenders, offensive guys too for that matter, about being in good striking angles, right? Having knees in front of toes, having shoulders in front of knees. Very important for us to maintain that position when we are playing defense. We want to bend at the hips, right? Keep your back straight with your head and eyes up, with your hips, your butt down. Very important that you keep your weight on the balls of your feet. Your weight's got to be on your balls of your feet, and your feet, you want to have your feet no more than shoulder width apart with your arms tight to your body, right? Always making sure that you can react, that you can move laterally. Now it doesn't matter, inside, outside tackle, sideline tackle, sheer tackle, you got to always make sure that you concentrate your eyes on the numbers of the runner. Then what you got to do is you got to make sure that you have a lot of body on body. We call it broad contact point. You want to put as much of your body on that ball carrier as you can. No arm tackling, right? No helmet, just shoulder. You want to put a lot of body on that ball carrier. Then I want to do the best I can to keep my shoulders square so that I can continue, once again, put a lot of body on that ball carrier. And then once I make contact, I want to grab, I want to wrap up and wrap everything, consume his body with my body. And then because the legs, your hips, that part of your body is really strong, you want to make sure that you use that as an advantage in your tackle. Get your hips, roll your hips into it, be able to use your legs in the tackle. Another example of the drill manual, right? We're talking about the cage drill, the block protection, 3-step progression, 3-whistle drill. 1, we're going to be locked up. We're going to be locked up with a receiver. Whistle 1, boom. Whistle 2, bench press him off. Whistle 3, release, step to my gap. So our guys will go through each one of these drills daily, right? And then we'll work with the receivers to go to the next step of the stalk drill, right? Where the receiver, mostly good on good, the receiver will approach, try to stalk me. I got to do the same things that I just did in the 3-step progression. And I got to make sure that with a fast-moving, good wide receiver, I got to step through and get my feet into my gap. Just like we always try to say to our guys, I'm going to approach this with the same violence that I approached the tackle. Copy of the manual, of course, we'll get that to you. If you email it to us, we'll get a copy of the manual to you. Another drill that we have a video of is we're going to talk about the flip drill. The flip drill was created to give us the opportunity to work multiple movements within one drill. We have video of it, so I'm not going to have to blame the video guy. Next drill is feel the weight, right? I was coaching the wide receivers at North Dakota State, saw a couple of DB coaches work this drill, and it's just a focus drill. Focusing that receiver on keying focusing that defensive back on keying the weight of the receiver. We're going to focus in on the weight. We can use this drill from on, from off, and we can give those receivers breaks to go through where the defensive back will practice on his breaks. Not going to blame the video guy for this drill either. Hardest one to go through because you got to pick the drills that really apply to defensive backs. Of course, we have a lot of them that we work through, but we'll divide them into group drills. We'll divide our drills as we work through into transition drills, into leverage drills. But what we'll do really quick is we'll go through some of the group drills that we use. First one is the pursuit drill, and these are pass pursuit drills. So we'll align our team, we'll give them a call, and we're always going to put a receiver into the drill so that these guys will always practice, work on blocking the intended receiver. The defensive line is responsible for pressuring the quarterback, retreating to the pass, And then one of them is responsible for blocking that quarterback. And then as we see our intended receiver, somebody's going to be in charge of blocking that intended receiver. And we're talking to that interceptor, that guy with the ball. We're talking to him about scoring with the football every time. Always going to block the intended receiver. D-line's going to approach to the football, effort to the ball. Now we're going to turn back. Somebody's going to block that quarterback, intended receiver's block, and we're going to get that ball up the near sideline. Talking to the receiver, interceptor, about getting that thing to the end zone. Just an example of it happening in the game. Get an interception. Got somebody blocking that intended receiver. Got guys blocking the quarterback, trying to get it up the near sideline. Ball's tipped in the air. Well, intended receiver's blocked. Just got to get somebody on that quarterback, trying to get it up the near sideline. Effort to the football. Effort to the football. Guys turning and going to the football. Ended up retrieving the fumble, recovering the fumble. And by guys getting up off the ground and going blocking, leading them into the end zone. Guys turning, blocking the quarterback. Talking to the point we're making here is we're talking to this guy about when he gets that ball, he's scoring with it. So this is not a great play for us. But we talk about guys' effort. To save the touchdown. Now we got a lot of stuff that happened here. So when we work pursuit, run or pass, we understand it's not going to be perfect. So you got to play with great effort. Go into that football to give us a chance to play one more play. So we talk to our defensive backs, our guys in the secondary, our corner, and our safety about the fact that we have to hold the edge of this defense, right? They have three guys out here. They're going to throw to one of them, so they'll have two blockers. We got to take those guys on. If we're blocked, we got to take them on and pursue or force into our gap. So there'll be some unblocked players coming, and that gives us a chance to be able to tackle the football with those unblocked players while making it easy. So we'll work this good on good versus our receivers, right? We're trying to force ourselves into our gaps. So we're saying that there's an unblocked player. He's coming. A guy who has this gap. This guy has to get to this gap. I have the outside gap. I have to force that ball back inside. So 37 has to get to that gap. One's outside gap. You can hold that receiver off and be able to make a play for make a tackle for minimal gain, and we got an advantage. The ball's thrown behind the line of scrimmage. So we're saying we pursue our gaps. We're going to hold that play to a minimal gain. We get in a position where the receiver is not going to be able to block us. If I go in here, I got to make sure I make the tackle. I can't let him back outside.
So we never go in here unless I know I can make the play. Same thing here. I'm going to force it from outside in. There's the gap. I got to squeeze. There's my gap. I got to squeeze, keeping my outside arm and leg free as best I can. I want to approach and keep that inside foot up, right? I want to keep that inside foot up, keep my shoulder square so that I can easily be able to come off and make this tackle. He comes off, but it'll be a lot less work there if he's able to keep that inside foot up. Inside foot's got to be your strong foot. It's a good job right here. Setting the edge, holding the edge. The guy pops outside, I'm going to release to my gap, be able to make the tackle. 27's got to get to that gap. 27 get cut off, he got to get to that gap. Now here we are versus defensive backs, having an understanding. No ball thrown, we just got to know that's my gap. I'm going to force through the gap. Once again, don't go in here unless I know I can make the play. If the receiver's going to block me like that, I go in there and make the play. Plays tackle for a loss. Inside defender, this guy's going to fight to keep his helmet outside 18. Because we tell him this is his gap. Now, if we told him that's his gap, he had that inside gap, we'd have a deep defender who's going to come down and take that gap. Well, now this guy go inside. But that corner's always going to stay outside unless he has an opportunity to beat the wide receiver. We talked to him about not going in there unless he knows he's going to win that battle. Look at the corner up top. Right now we know this receiver is behind the line of scrimmage. He's striking. Everything we do tells him that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage. Come on. Right? Just got to make an open field tackle. So we got the receivers stacked. We tell these guys they got to do a great job of communicating, but whoever is the up defender, this guy's got to set an edge just like in all the previous drills we've seen. He's got to set an edge and be able to let that second level defender make the tackle. You got a blocker on you, you got to set an edge for all these guys who are running, pursuing to the football. Don't go in here unless you know you can make the play. Don't go in there unless you know you can make the play. He stays outside. He got the same angle on it, right? But he goes inside to beat the blocker. Almost has an opportunity to come up with an interception. So now, just like the example of the stacked receivers, we're going to work in practice combination drills so that we have a plan when an offense. And we'll use a variety of different plans, but here's the plan we're going to use. We're going to take this second level defender. When he gets motion, he's going to come down and squeeze. This guy's going to be on the second level. He's going to be just off the hip, protect inside out. You have 24. From inside out. Good. Second level defender, second level offensive guy from inside out. You stack defender. You want to try to get your hands on him, protect the inside, get your hands on him and eliminate the rub. You rub the rubber. Job, stay on the upfield shoulder. The point guy, the guy on the line of scrimmage, the up defender, he's the guy who's going to have to make hay. He's the guy who's going to have to prevent the rub. Remember, we're protecting from inside out. No rub. No rub. Everybody just stays on yours. You're going to lock. Just like we talk about, we're going to go cut him off. Cut him off. It's a vertical route. Go cut him off. Stay in front. Play the deep ball. So here these two guys are. They've communicated. Right? They've communicated. They're working the switch here. This guy switch. He goes out. I got the one outside. You got the one inside. Only thing we want to make sure that we do is we got to aggressively attack. Once they decide there's no reading, now we got to go aggressively attack. Tighten that coverage. Either inside or outside defender. Understanding we're all protecting from inside out. Here we are. We got to stack. We got to stack. So here, the next option is we're going to play in and out. We're going to play in and out. He goes inside, you got him. He goes outside, I got him. Fortunately for them, they both go inside. You got to be aware, if they both go inside, you're in a struggle. You're outside leverage. So you got to tighten your coverage. Can't say he's going to always go vertical. You're going to tighten your coverage from inside out. You got it. Got to be sharper there. So because we'll read that number 2, we'll play a coverage where we're going to read number 2 and react to our routes, pattern our movements off of his routes. We got to make sure that we do a good job of drilling that in practice. We're going to line number 1 and number 2 on the sideline, and we're going to have vision on number 2. Vision on number 2. If number 2 releases outside, that corner's going to stiffen up and take number 2. The safety's going to work to number 1 once that release happens. They both go vertical. 2 goes vertical. Corner has 1. Safety has 2. Inside out leverage. Man-to-man vertical clue. Safety's inside here. Corner's outside. No non-vertical route by number 2. Number 2's going vertical. I got 1. He has 2. So we'll take them through all the patterns, game plan wise, that we anticipate seeing from a vertical to number 2 inside in the first level to number 2 outside in the first level to number 2 digging up the field in the second level to a smash route where number 1 sits it down and number 2 goes vertical. So we work through all those concepts so that our guys are able to see them and be able to communicate. Corners outside, safety's inside. We're both keying that number 2. Number 2 goes outside, corner strikes. Safety works to number 1, inside out. Number 2's outside in the first level. Corner's taking 2. Safety work to number 1. We call it pin in the hip. From inside out, don't let him cross your face. Eyes on 2. 2's out, go to 1. 2's out, go to 1. Corner, 2's out, take 2. He goes to 1. Inside out, don't let him cross your face, safety. Corner's out here, safety's in here. Corner's out here, read number 2. Number 2's vertical. Number 2's vertical. What's vertical? Anything past linebacker depth. Number 2's vertical. I'm locked on 1. I got it. Number 2's vertical. You got it. Inside out. Got to maintain inside leverage. Very difficult to do. So there are a set of drills that we use daily. And we'll rotate as far as importance that particular week. But there's a few drills that we use every day. So we're going to backpedal. And we're going to get backpedal drills video from different angles. But here's one drill where we go across the field. We're going to start on the sideline. And our defensive backs will pedal across the entire field. They'll backpedal all the way over. Good arm movement is the focus. Good arm movement. We're going to push off that big toe. We're going to stay on that line all the way over. Then we'll add a turn into it. We're going to bring it back. We're going to backpedal and we'll turn. And he'll backpedal and then he'll turn again. And then he'll backpedal and then he'll turn again. Turn, run 3 steps, start to backpedal again. Turn, run 3 steps, pedal again. Turn, run 3 steps, pedal again. Then you have your head coach. Sometimes he'll get into it. Just to show that he still has it. Or that he never had it. So then we'll integrate a pedal and drive into it, but we're still doing the same thing. We're going across the field, taking it all the way across the field, pedal, drive. He'll reset on that line again, he'll pedal, he'll drive, but he's going to keep going in that fashion across the field. On his third pedal drive, his second pedal drive, the next guy will go. Here we are, we're just pedaling again, 3-man pedal. Now we're going to pedal turn. As we turn, we focus, we talk about throwing that shoulder. We talk about operating so that I'm going to throw my shoulder so hard that I open my hips and I fall down to take my next step. Throw the shoulder, fall down, take my next step. Have to do a great job with arm movement. Want to move our arms? Open my hips, toes slightly turn inward, pushing off that big toe. Open your hips, throw your legs, throw your shoulders so hard that you almost fall down. You catch yourself with that extra step, or with your crossover step. Flip drill. Talk about this drill. Show them this drill, teach them this drill, work through this drill so that we can master different movements all at one time. So, gonna backpedal, brake on the hitch, backpedal, brake on the hitch, backpedal, brake on the hitch. Hitch and go. Put your hand on that hip, that guy's running the hitch and go. So you're gonna protect the vertical. Flip. So we'll rewind a little bit. When we say flip, this is the flip. This is all these movements are contained in the flip. So we'll say flip drill, post. Flip drill, so that DB knows this is the flip. He knows. Now he's waiting for you to tell him before we start the drill. He's waiting for you to tell him what I'm going to do. Flip, drill, post. So he knows he's going to go to post. If I were to say flip, drill, post, corner, he would do all the components of the flip, go to the post, then break back to the corner. This is just the flip, drill, post. Always focusing on getting that ball at the highest point. So that DB is backpedaling. He's going to break back on the hitch, then it's a hitch and go, flip, back to the pedal on the flip, back to the pedal, open to the post. Open my hips to the post, go up and get the ball up high. Flip drill, post. Opposite side, we'll go both sides. Flip drill, post. Flip, post, corner. All right, so we come back over to this side, we'll go flip drill, post, corner. We'll go flip drill, go. Flip, post, corner. Talking about keeping tight feet, keeping arms close to the body, turning completely. Right? Safety drill, we're working on the halves, we're working cover 2. Right? I'm going to open my hips, 3 hard steps, square up, pedal. 3 hard steps, square up, pedal, break on the throw. Playing cover 2. 3 hard steps to the hash, square up, break on the throw. 3 hard steps, square up, pedal, open to the post. Gotta get your head and eyes up as fast as you can. Back to the corners again. We're going to pedal, and we're going to give them a point. We're going to give at least one of them a point to drive to. I'm going to pedal, plan and drive, breaking on the throw. We're going to try to get that ball out of there. Back pedal, plant and drive, break, get the ball out of there. A little bit of a competitive drill. We're going to pedal, stay on the sideline. We're looking for smooth movement, arm movement. We're looking for speed. We'll go no more than 25 yards here on the sideline pedal. Want to see good arm movement. Then we talk about weaving. We talk about weaving to maintain our leverage on the receiver. That receiver steers me inside. I want to maintain leverage on that receiver. Inside leverage or outside leverage. He stems inside, I want to weave inside. He stems outside, I want to weave outside. So try to maintain leverage on the receiver. Good arm movement is critical when we weave. All we're working here is I'm back, exploding, right? I retreat and I explode. I retreat and I explode. Tight feet and I explode. Once I come out of the bags, we're going to throw them a ball. Just always have a ball integrated into the drill. Just a little bit of a change up. I'm coming out of the bags, getting my head around. Working to get my head around, locate the ball on the sideline. If the receiver ran a comeback, I'm underneath the comeback. Let me locate the ball and intercept it. So then we talk to our defensive backs about tackling. Go about 3/4 speed here, right? Talking about dropping our hips, hitting on the rise, wrapping, running my feet. Want to make sure I get my head across here on the tackle. Keep your arms tight, tight to your body. Not necessarily like a robot. Keep them tight to your body. Keep approaching, right? Once you're in a contact position, once you're in position to make contact, you want to keep going, right? You don't want to slow your feet. You want to keep going. You want to use your hips and run through him. You want to make him go back, right? You want to knock him back. So now you got good inside out leverage on the runner. You want to make sure he doesn't cross your face, right? You stay on his hips, stay behind him. So if he tries to cut back, you're in position to knock him out. Hit him on the rise, just like the drawing. I'm lower than he is. I'm wrapping. I'm using my hips, shrugging my shoulders, getting into it. I'm going to joke that ball out. Got my body on his body. Lot of body on body. Not wearing pads here. Oh my goodness. Not wearing pads here, so we just want to approach with our feet. My God, what am I doing? Just want to approach with my feet if I don't have pads on. Approach with my feet. Hit him on the rise, simulating, bringing my hands through, clubbing him up. Back to the pads. Good. Hit him on the rise. I don't necessarily like when that receiver jumps. Keep your feet, run your feet. I want to knock him back. Don't jump, make it easy for me. Simulating the club up. Now, add a back pedal into it. Same thing, simulate the club up. Back pedal, bring my feet, slow my body down, come to balance. Just reacting here. Just reacting. This is a more of a sure open field tackle, right? Got to make sure I choose the leverage. Here I choose inside out. Got to do all the things that come with an inside out tackle. Got to be under control. Once I come back, got to gain control of my body, of my feet. Good. Now we talk about coverage drills, going one-on-one and releases versus the wide receivers. So in this drill, notice we got 2 cones for those wide receivers to stand back behind. Then we come on the sideline and we'll allow that receiver to align on the sideline. We tell that defensive back, give him a yard or so away from that sideline to give yourself some room to be able to react. Then as the receiver pushes down the field, you'll see that there'll be cones for him. He has to run through that cone on our left and cone on our right as we look at it. That's that receiver space. What we're trying to do is get that guy out of that cone, right? We don't want him to run inside those cones. We're trying to widen him, get him out of those cones, right? That's what we're trying to do here in this drill. Is we're trying to work. Don't want to divide my feet. I want to give ground, grudgingly, stay on top, but use my hands to get him out, to get him off these cones. Best I can. I don't want to divide my feet. Don't want to divide my feet. Good with my hands, but we're focusing on staying on top. It's not just a chicken fight. I'm going to stay on top of that receiver because I'm covering a route, right? So I still got to stay on top while keeping him off that cone. Good with my feet, but I got to do better with my hands. I want to be punching this young man. Punch right now. Punch. There you go. Just too slow with the hands. Get him up there and be punching right now because you got him. Look at all the dancing he's doing. You got it. He's at your mercy right now. If you punch that hand, you knock him off balance. You get you another punch in. Get him off the cones. So you got your hand, you got good hand placement, but I want to make sure that I do a good job of getting on him and forcing him outside those cones right now. All right, I jump at it, buy myself time. I'm on top of the route. Just got to be ready to react to his hip, dropping his hips. When he drops his, I drop mine. Try to keep your body tight. Always want to have a tight body here, right? Because I'm going to secure that tackle with that left arm, and I'm going to swing and swipe with that right arm. Good job. You just what we want to do here. Good. Head around, but I want to lean. I want to get him off his line. I want to get him off his line right here. And then next thing, once you look back for the ball, go play the ball. Ball's in the air right now. You're looking for the ball down low. Got to look for the ball up high. Ball's in the air right now. Let's go ahead and make a play on that ball. Great catch by the receiver, but you're in fabulous position. DB got to make the play here because you got to lean, get him off that line, make the quarterback throw you the ball. Head going backwards and forwards. DB, receiver, quarterback. No, ball's in the air. You go get the ball. It's your ball. It's a good job coming back, being violent with the hands. Get the ball out. Good patience. Just want to stay square. We want to talk about staying square. It's a good job of cutting him off. Just want to keep him inside. So we'll work receivers, releases. We'll work press releases. We'll work one-on-one versus press. And then we'll come and work off-man drills. We'll tell them, hey, you can only play off-man. Off-man and inside. Off-man and inside. Got the tackle secured, but you got to be more precise with your hands. Go to his hands with your hands to get that ball out of there. When we play off man, it quickly turns into press man. I'm playing through him to the ball. I'm cutting his vertical line. All those things that we do from a press position, we try to, as that separation is closed, we try to force that into press man from off. Playing the shadow drill and just going to throw a ball into it. Shadow, a press man progression. I'm going to stay in the shadow of the receiver, right? That's why we call it the shadow. I'm going to stay in the shadow of the receiver. He releases. I would punch with that right hand, but I'm just going to integrate a ball into the drill. Once he releases, I go get the football. Just a back pedal drill. Go shadow. He's going to shadow, release away from me. When he releases away, I'm going to punch with the opposite hand, get my head around, just integrating the ball into it. Just trying to integrate a ball into the drill. Same thing. Shadow, head around, opposite hand, go and intercept the football. Some ball drills for the corners, just the pedal, open to the post. We're talking about getting it up high, getting it at the highest point. Get it up high, get it at the highest point. Once again, I'd like to thank you